iPad, you know what I mean?
It's all. There we go. We're going.
We're live?
Yes, we're recording.
We're back.
Yes. Back in the conversation.
Different time, no beer this time. It's Sunday morning coffee.
Switch it up, yeah. I was thinking Friday was getting too, maybe it'd be like too cynical, too kind of down. Like happy that it's Friday after 5, but still kind of like
What do you think?
repetitive.
Our
like
darkest thoughts were on
about the
Friday
week
because
kind of
everybody's
thing.
mad about the week?
Yeah. Let's start a new one. Here's a new one, everybody.
No, I like this. This mixes things up. And I love coffee, so the two go hand in hand.
Yeah. It's really good. So what's going on in the news, man?
Where do we leave off? This is what, like episode 8?
Episode 8, yeah.
Episode 8.
You know the episodes better than I do.
I know we left off. Hold on, I got a little bit of echo here in my ear.
You want to take them off? I told you it's like the back thing is weird now. You just want to go like this?
Yep.
That seems better. No?
Hold on. Can you? I just want to make sure I can hear myself.
Yeah.
Check.
Leave it like
Boom.
a fist away from your face, and that way we know it's recording good. Because it feels better when you know it's being recorded.
Yeah, now you can hear
a certain
yourself.
thing. But it's good.
No, man, news is crazy. It's been a crazy 2 weeks that we haven't had a chance to podcast. It's been super crazy.
Super busy.
Super
Man, 40
busy.
hours a week takes so much time from me that doing something like this or trying to set aside an hour for myself is kind of...
It drains you.
Yeah. Trying to get to it. It's like, shit, I don't have time. I don't want to sacrifice time away from my family for something, you know.
Oh, no. You're going to hear me sneeze a couple times. I'm a little sick. So
Under the weather?
Yeah, a little under the weather. So
Do you have allergies or what's going on?
I don't know. I think it's the change in weather, but it's good. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I love this cold weather.
Yep. I was actually looking yesterday. Can't wait to be able to put on a sweater again or
Yeah,
a little
pants
jacket, little
without,
pants. Yep. You just kind of get a little break from the sunny weather. I know everybody's probably hating me right now. They're like, "Oh, I need my beach memes," and no, man, it's been crazy. We just finished election week.
We were in contact during the elections.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe when you told me how crazy it makes the market.
Yeah.
Like it leaves everybody in suspense. Like what is going to go, who's going to be in charge, and that matters so much.
It's crazy.
It makes the market go like that.
Well, and I can honestly say my dad kind of pointed out two truths right now to elections. Like, so obviously back in 2008, I mean, I was 18. Not that I didn't care about elections, but I probably, you're just getting out of high school, just kind of like feeling if you're going to go to college, I guess you really didn't care per se. I guess this is the millennial perspective for anybody that's listening. But then you fast forward to what? Almost 8 years later, then you get the whole controversy with Donald Trump going in the office. And I really didn't get involved in that politically, I guess you can say. Like, I really didn't. Honestly, I didn't even vote. Probably should have, but I didn't vote. And
I feel like you were throwing it away anyway.
pretty much. Like, I don't know. I've just never really
Right?
been a big fan of voting. And the reason being is that I guess in the presidential election, I just don't feel like my voice really matters. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate.
Like your little check mattered.
Yeah.
Would you have voted for Trump?
Yes and no.
Right? I said yes and no because Gary Johnson, they said if you voted for Gary Johnson, you're throwing your vote to Hillary. How does that work? No, it's not. I'm selecting him, not her.
I wouldn't have voted for Hillary. That's for sure.
So, yeah.
Honestly, I think
Would have been forced to vote for Trump.
I probably would have. Well, I mean, when it's down to them two, but if you take the bigger picture and them two out of it, at one point I was maybe just a little bit of a Bernie Sanders supporter.
Hell yeah, but he's gone. He's not an option.
Yeah, and the only reason being is I like the fact that he was trying to handle the tuition crisis, like the college tuition crisis. Whether if he was going to do it or not, I mean, like everybody else says, I don't know. Do I think that Trump's deserves credit for what he's done to the economy? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I think
it's
he's
up 11 trillion, over 11 trillion now?
Do I think he's a little crazy at times? Yeah,
man, he talks to people so fucking rude. It's hard. Like when I was a kid, my daughter's age, I could be able to like look at the TV when my dad was watching TV about the president. Now I don't even want my kids watching this.
Well,
this is insane.
Our president kind of reflects
It's so
our times. It reflects.
Yeah,
I call it the. You know what? He's the era of the social media president. That's before we kind of looked up to presidents. Kind of like remember our conversation we talked about suit and ties. Yeah, we talked about like
he wears a suit and tie and he's
well, he wears a suit and tie, but he still has like this. I'm gonna call it salesman. Not millennial, because clearly he's far away from a millennial, but salesman, millennial type, like swagger to him, like where he's on social media, he's active, he's voicing his opinion. Where previous presidents are like, whoa, like if I want to tweet something, it's got to go through like 10 channels. You know what I mean? And he just don't care. He just busts out the phone and like, all right, here, you know what I'm saying? He just speaks his mind, which is crazy.
He's got the whole control board in front of him. Nobody can tell him what to do.
Yeah,
like he's up there like pushing all kinds of buttons. Let's see what this does. Let's see what this does. And there's a big button over here. He's got this is a nukes.
Well, and to put it into
he
perspective,
talks about it on Twitter.
Well, I know, and to put it into perspective, I guess there's this new.
He talks about the nuke button on Twitter.
Well,
he said my button's bigger than yours, is what he says.
Bro, he's like a little big kid, bro. It's just like it's a little big kid. Well, the crazy thing is, no. Check this out. So, like, obviously, blah, blah, blah. I've been involved in the stock market, and anybody who looks at stock markets, there's all these indicators, and everybody jokes about it. They're like, "Oh, have you guys added the Trump indicator to your charts?"
Oh God.
And I'm like,
"It's a factor.
It's a factor." So this one guy made this beautiful chart, and he's just like, look at what happens when Trump tweets and how the market responds. And he had this beautiful timeline of like a whole year since Trump's been in office from when he started tweeting. And it just happened this past week. Trump tweeted something about, bro, this is how crazy the media like mix and screws things. He tweeted something about like, oh, working on a deal with China or whatever. Immediately the market just starts rallying, everything's going up. Then like right before market open, go figure, somebody's like, oh wait, it's not what we really were doing. It's this is what we're really doing, and then the market collapses again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's so.
Was that the tariffs? Did the market crash after the tariffs?
Well, the market's been all over with the tariffs, but this was like a deal saying that the tweet had something to do along the lines of, and I don't even think the tweet came from Donald Trump. It came from somebody in his party, that basically like China has a draft. Like they're already drafting their proposal, and we're working on a draft for the deal. Like, no, there's no fucking draft. Nobody's even talking about a draft. Like nothing. You know what I mean? But it just got everybody's hopes up, so they're thinking, oh, this is gonna be good. So I don't know, man. Our economic state right now is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Volatile. Is that
volatile? Yeah, a lot of volatility right now, which is it's crazy because
terms. I've been looking them up, man.
Oh no, dude, you
trying
have
to get trying to get fluent in bullish and bearish. Is that the language?
What are you?
Is that the lingo?
That's the lingo.
I just hate leaving Friday on my Robinhood. I hate leaving in the red. Like, goddamn, I ended a crappy week. Even though it's like $36 down, but still, it's like.
Just come look at my calendar, and then you'll see some real red days.
I'll feel better.
Yeah, you'll feel a lot better. Yeah.
Since you told me about the week swings, it's been doing better though.
Yeah,
I think my profits could get bigger if I do.
It's not even about
statistics
that.
Are
all the what?
Oh my god, you can get lost in stats.
Yeah,
trying to read like those
the charts,
and then the news. Like you can get sucked into social media sides, unpredictable, so unreliable.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie.
And then if you go to the public television or whatever,
the CNBC,
yeah, all of it.
Oh, I fucking love it. It's crazy. I'm becoming like such an old man. Like I wake up now, 8:00. I'm watching CNBC, seeing what's. You know what? And this is the crazy part. So obviously, this is like a new path for me, and I've really I can honestly say, through the struggles, the learning curves, the success, like I've actually really grown to enjoy this. Whether if this becomes like a full-time career for me, it's going to be amazing. Even if it becomes like something I do on the side while pursuing my other dreams, like just understanding how markets.
Hard work though in the middle of the stock market. Like you're already working basically. You're putting in a shift.
Yeah,
you could do it.
It's pretty much that. I mean, that's how it goes. I mean, I'm hoping as my studying. I mean, I've never studied. I don't even consider it studying. It's almost like if you're a new hire at a job and you're in training and you're just you have those first 90 days where you're just absorbing much info.
Though. No fucking boss. Well,
pretty
actually,
much.
The boss is
the market. The boss is the market.
The boss is the market. It's reality too.
No, but it's
your
crazy.
Boss is reality because reality is bills keep coming and you gotta. That's your boss.
Yeah,
basically.
You
just gotta have shit together or it's gonna fall apart.
Pretty much. You know what? It's
cynical way to look at it.
As crazy as it is, I actually look at investing in terms of day trading. You gotta treat it like a business. Like at first, I thought I had a different perspective. I'm not gonna lie. I thought, as long as you have money, you can win. You can go into the market. Let's say $5,000. Yeah, I got $5,000. I know a thing or two, a chart or two. I know how to make a quick, 100, 200, and the market will eat you alive.
Yeah.
And everybody, after finally going in 3 months of research and seeing other people's trials and tribulations, and it's all the same thing. Now it's the people that can survive through that are going to be successful. And this week actually I posted my first all green week. Smaller wins, but all green. So that lets you. That's hopefully the shifting point in my career.
This is where it gets down to reality, or where it gets uncomfortable to talk about, I guess. But how much of the winnings you take out, like as a paycheck, or do you do that?
Well, so here's my new strategy and this is to be honest with you. So if anybody wants a strategy from working at home,
matter though, shouldn't talk about.
No, I'm vocal with anything. Like I'm actually trying to get my YouTube channel started and stuff as well. So it's gonna come out regardless. But my plan initially when I first went in, I was like, because I use an offshore broker, so the money has to be wired in to the Bahamas. It's not like you could just take it all out immediately. I can, but it's going to take a while, so you kind of got to get used to a system. So I'm like, well, man, I really don't like that. I was like, yeah, I do. Oh, my ear's ringing. That's the offshore account talking about me. Like, bitch, you are not taking your money. I'm testing this new strategy to see if it works.
The way you move your money around?
It's not the way you move your money around. So, like, obviously, I've been a big fan of Robinhood. I blew up my Robinhood account a while back. And in terms of blowing up, meaning I day traded more than 3 times, so they block you for 90 days.
90 days?
Yeah. 90 days where you could still trade, but you can only swing trade. You can't day trade. So it sucks. So if you get stuck in a shitty position within the day, you're pretty much just like, oh, well, there goes my money. You know what I mean? It's like you really can't get out till the next day. So I'm like, well, fuck. Anyways, it was a learning lesson. Made a new account under my wife, and like that account's been doing good. And I just like Robinhood because it's on a phone, it's on an app, easy to withdraw and send money to.
It's on an iPad, it's on wherever you need it.
Well, yeah. So then some of the people I've been following, like I'm trying to be real disciplined. My actual, it's called Shirt Trader account, the one that I use to actual physically day trade. I'm going to try my hardest for at least 3 months not to touch any money in that account and simply grow
just
it.
Leave it. Let it
let itself. So I pulled.
I've done that for weeks, but
well, no, it's and
enough to.
Well, the problem is I'm trying to go into a discipline mindset. I pulled money back, and I said, you know what? The only way I'm going to be disciplined is if I try to grow a small amount. So I put $1,139, and I'm trying to grow that. This is all starting as of last week. I'm trying to grow that.
Awesome if you could say you took $1,000 and turn it into like 100,000.
Well, I mean, most of the guys that I follow, I mean. The craziest thing, I'm not going to sponsor anybody on this podcast, but, I mean, you could look it up on YouTube. A guy simply from $583 to $335,000 in a year. The part that I'm more excited about is the $583 to $45,000 in 40 days.
Oh, and that's some kind of fucking challenge.
Well, yeah, and you know the crazy part about it is, so I'll give you 2 sides of trading. Like, me 3 months ago, I would just think, oh, well, shit, all you need is, $10,000, throw $10,000, and you can quickly make boom, boom, boom. And you see the psychology. Like, it's easy to make the money, but just as easy it is to make it, it's as easy to lose it.
Heck yeah.
So unless you really actually take this serious, and it's like a job, you got to study. You got, like, a lot of people just think, like, oh, I'm logging on a computer and I'm flipping through some charts. Like, dude, I'm talking hours of work, studying charts, analysis.
You get that.
Oh, you get bored. I'm not gonna lie. There's some days I'm in a trade and I'm like, fuck. Like, look up the term short squeeze. If you get stuck in a short squeeze, like my dad already knows what it is. Because I'll tell my dad, hey, I'm coming. I'll be at my house. I'll be at your house at 11, and then I don't get there till 2. And he's like, oh, let me guess, you were stuck in a short squeeze. And I'm like, yeah,
how'd you know?
I do know. And then he sees me like I'm on my mobile phone on the app, and like I came to help him, and I'm still in the squeeze trying to get out. Because it's just one of those things, like, if you get stuck, it could either go your way or against your way. So it's just the shit you learn, Yeah. But I'm enjoying it, man. I got a trader's journal, so I'm documenting all my trades, learning from my mistakes, learning from my wins, and finally I'm taking a great turning point. And then I'm looking to, this is new, I don't want to confuse you yet, but this is where the part about when the bills need to get paid.
Yes.
So.
But wait a minute, for the support, like the stock equipment, basically. Like,
well, no, so that comes out of my Shirt Trader account.
Doing what you're doing has overhead. That's like considered overhead of the.
My overhead right now would be, I pay classroom fees, meaning if you look at any traders, you kind of want to be involved and surround yourself around other traders so you guys can all bounce ideas off each other's. So I'm in a chat room, and I prefer the paid chat rooms as opposed to like the free ones. I notice a lot of the free chat rooms are like, 15, 16-year-olds just trying to do the the Bitcoin thing. Just they'll just call a stock out and be like, oh, it's going to the moon, and they really don't understand anything about the stock. So like I prefer to be surrounded by more professional people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Throw stats out there.
Well, they just throw shit because they basically got screwed on a stock, are still holding
trying to flip it.
And they're trying to FOMO everybody into it.
That's a term that came to. What
options.
That came on with. Yeah, I know. That came. When did that term come to be?
Which one?
FOMO. Fear of missing out.
Oh, the thing. I mean, FOMO applies with anything in life, man.
How long has it been? Like since 2008 or 2009?
Yeah, I think FOMO's been around for centuries. I mean,
Fear
that's psychology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody. You see somebody has this, and you're like, "Oh shit, I want it," you know. And then I'm about to sneeze.
I'll pause it real quick. I gotta grab some more coffee. It's just a quick pause.
Yeah, I need some coffee.
Oh, come on, pause, bitch.
Okay,
record. 15, 14. Okay, yeah, it's going again.
Sorry, guys, we took a quick break there. This is what happens when you switch the podcast in the morning and you need some more coffee. Shit, what were we talking about? We were. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. What's the stock market still? Or
no. I was finishing up, concluding, since everybody's probably wondering, like, wait, he never got to how he's making his fucking money, getting the bills paid and shit.
Yes.
So shit, I'll go ahead and throw it out there because for whoever's listening, especially in the family, everybody that's
I'll
curious.
tell mine too when you're done.
Yeah,
I'll tell mine too when you're done.
Yeah. I mean, it's just this is the way it is. I know there's a lot of people in my family that probably think I'm fucking crazy or like still trying to like figure out like, man, what's he doing? Like people don't understand like how I tick.
Confidence.
They don't have the confidence. They don't understand like just because I quit my so-called, corporate job and all that, people just assume that because I don't report somewhere that like I'm gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
And whatever, who knows? Maybe I will fall apart. You're never gonna fucking know until I do it. You know what I mean? But as far as I'm concerned, like no, I mean I got my shit paid. I got my bills paid in advance, and like I'm literally going all in on something.
Good. I'm happy. I'm so happy for you. Ever
Yeah.
since you started this whole thing, man. I know there's gonna be negative people. I know.
Oh yeah.
Look at when Elon Musk started. You think he had the support of all his peoples?
He's still got people shorting.
I'm stupid for trying to start my podcast with. I want to start it through all my pupils first. Like, and you're like, fuck that, I want to start it through all my pupils, like everybody I know on Facebook and Instagram, everybody I know, to help like criticize me. Like, hey, should I even do this? This is probably a bad idea, right?
Well, see, and that's where you and I probably think differently because
but I've been happy for you ever since the start of that.
Well, no, I mean, and dude, like we were just kind of talking a little bit off mic right now.
I know, it's how happy we did.
I know. Like, I respect that you're
on.
starting this podcast.
Yeah.
You're being consistent with it. Like, anybody would have just given up a couple episodes ago. And it's just one of those things. I mean, consistency pays off. You might have 100 episodes of this, and who knows, maybe you only have 100 people that listen for 100 episodes, but then you get to episode 101, and it becomes 1,000 or 1,000,000, and then people are going to go, well,
they were
shit,
waiting for that little...
let me hear the rest of your podcast. You know what I mean? So
They back listen.
Bro, I guess a lot's changed in my mind. And just... for the first time, like just trying to do stuff that you actually enjoy. Like, man, I can't tell you how many times you go to work or like, and there's probably people out there listening to this podcast and they're probably in the same boat. They're probably like, they're going to a job they hate. They get up every morning and they're just like, fuck, man, do I really want to go to work again? Or I got to do this. And I get it. People got to pay the bills and, life goes on. But fuck, man, I don't want to be that guy that, like you said, that's 60 years old and never took a chance or 60 years old and like, well, this is it. I got my pension or my 401k or whatever, and this is it, and that, like you said, to live with that what if, like, damn, I risked it, so fuck it, man, I'm going all in. I'll figure shit out as we go along.
Pay in advance, pay your bills in advance, and then save up. I mean, as you make your winnings, you probably save up like a little side chunk for a set of 3 months or a set of 2 months, or It's just what right now it's a lot of just testing theories. Like, I mean, me, the crazy thing is when the going gets tough, I know what I got to do to get money. You know what I mean? So, like, if I got to try to find a car to fix or flip or maybe help somebody out and it's just the kind of shit you figure out. Like, I mean, I'm fortunate my wife, she's still working. She still makes money. And with the little bit she makes, the main core, the house and your housing bills is covered by what she makes. Right.
Yes. Do I have fucking expensive cars? There are expensive cars and car payments. Yeah, that's from my previous careers and stuff. But I didn't let it stop me, and I'm not gonna let it stop me. Like, I got fucking bills.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you built your money making. Like, there's always like this line that this is the you got to make it line right here.
Pretty much
for everything that you have now, and then there's always the urge to try to get overtime and get more.
Yeah.
Do my side gigs allegedly.
Side gigs? What side gigs?
Side work, man. It's you got. I mean, I'll admit I do side work, but you got. Everybody knows what I do for a living, and it's like, hey, just call your friend because he could do it way cheaper. You know?
Yeah.
Way cheaper.
Well, see, that brings up another topic.
Because he's got less overhead. He's just got his little tiny pickup truck and his little tool bag. Look at the overhead of that.
Well, and see
and and the rest of my shit's in my garage.
And that's somebody like me who respects, like, friends, obviously, you know, anytime I need anything appliance-wise, I always go to Kevin and, like, this is going to sound controversial as fuck, but I guess this is also a kind of a side of me that's kind of drawn away from sales sometimes. And I look back, think of your family. Think of your family and your closest friends right now. And obviously, you've been doing the same thing for more than, 10 years now? Mm-hmm. And people know you're the appliance guy.
Yeah.
And I've never just understood, and I mean, there's articles that talk about this. Like, take me, for instance, when I was in cell phones. I was the go-to guy for the majority. A lot of the family, which I respect, has come to me for years, and they always knew that I was trying to give them the best. Yeah, service, problems,
everything.
Yeah,
everything through the tablets, phones.
Oh yeah,
the hardware part of it too, and you would cover them on the bill part. Like, hey, this is what your options are. This is the best deal I can get you. This, you know.
Well, I mean, the amount of work and time that I put in, even after hours. You know, like when I'm not, you know, per se clocked in and stuff like that, and I'm outside not clocked in, and I'm helping
for nothing. A lot of times, me too. That's like you're basically given.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're giving your
time away cheaper.
Yeah. And what pisses me off is when you'll see somebody within that same group know that you're either experiencing a new trade or series or something, and then they just choose to not, you know what I mean? They just choose to go with somebody else. Like, I just don't understand that. Like, I feel like if I'm trying to think, how do I word this?
You can do that too. Like, you can go, you've done that. When I tried working on your AC, and then you went with Nacho, like me and Nacho. That's just exploring your options, like the speed wise,
right,
and money wise. It may just be accessibility. I was too busy. I take no offense to that, because in the skilled trade, there's so much. Maybe it's less likely, but there's so much work for me. I don't care. I mean, it's like I can help everybody I can and wield a little bit of profit in between, or give it away to my friends, you know?
I guess, yeah.
I love this so much. I really, before you get started on that, I wish I could do this for free for a couple hours a day. And then but it doesn't pay the bills, you know what I'm saying? If we lived in that kind of world, I could do what I do for free.
Because it's what you enjoy to do.
Free, you know? Yeah, I love to do it.
Yeah.
And if I had money, if my money was set somewhere, if I didn't have to worry about money, I'd start a nonprofit doing this for people like single moms and low income people that couldn't afford these repairs. Because I see people all the time that have just a washer. Their dryer's broken for just 2 years? Your dryer's been broken for 2 years, and they just hang all their clothes up.
Kevin, you gotta start your own business,
Lord.
bro. I'm going live on the podcast now. You start your business, you get the capital,
I want to start
you give back to the community. That's how you give back to the community.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm telling you,
I'd love to.
You're going to. It's just a matter of time.
I should.
Just a matter of time.
I see it in the future if I get financially set.
Yeah. Every quarter, give back to the community.
I want to be like, I can say it on the public podcast and all, but I kind of want to be like low key about it. Like just do it like,
like us. We're in a small town. Give back to the community. People that need it.
Unanimously.
That'd be awesome. I've always wanted to do some stuff unanimously, especially around Christmas.
You're like Batman when you're giving away stuff unanimously.
You fix my washer.
I take care of this town. This is my city.
Oh, man.
Next thing you got to do is stop crime.
Man.
Batman.
Let's not even get there, man. It's been a tough week for the nation.
It's tough, man. Crime is so fucking unpredictable. There's that shooter in California, and I didn't know it was a country music shooting. They shot up a country music thing.
And you know what? I'm not even about the stereotypes and all that. Like, I don't really care because obviously, I mean, it could happen it has happened. It could happen at a rap concert, country concert. It could happen anywhere. And this past shooting just kind of opened up my eyes. Like, anybody who knows me, especially my wife, she knows that, like, if I usually try to make a decision, I'm like a report guy. Like, I like to, like, analyze things. Like, for instance, let's say I were to move to Moorhaven right now. Go ahead. No, I'm good.
Moorhaven.
Yeah, let's say I were to move to Moorhaven right now. She knows before I move to Moorhaven, I'm going to, like...
Check
stats and do all this and just trying to figure out what's best for our life. And in times when we've talked about moving, I've always looked like, let me Google the safest towns and stuff like that. And, you know, that shooting, they ranked number 4 in the nation as the safest town. And then this happens, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's just like
Did this guy travel from another city, though, to shoot up this thing?
You know,
kind of like that other guy from Vegas that shot up the other one?
I think, I haven't really, I guess they're still kind of like making the reports. I think there's something deeper there, based off what he was posting. I guess this is the shilling part about it.
I hate that when they post, and then the news shares it.
Well,
he posted it on social media, and the news is gonna fucking share it on social media, or they're gonna talk about it, and then they're gonna go to the internet and find it anyway.
Yep. Well, I guess Instagram pulled it down, but I mean the crazy part, I guess like before, like between loading guns, he took like a break and was just posting on his Instagram like,
fuck you.
Yeah, and he was
posting.
Yeah, he was posting like stupid shit like, "Oh, your prayers." He said something like, "Your prayers and your hopes aren't gonna matter to understand what I did."
Don't give it credit.
Yeah. But
that's so fucking.
Yeah. And on top of that, he was freaking military. You know what I mean?
Was he military?
He was military.
He should have been
Marine.
PTSD'd out or something, man. Jesus Christ! I should have put him like with a psychiatrist or something. God damn it. Is he dead, or did they kill him, or did he
kill himself?
Killed himself? Yeah,
killed himself. That's what always happens. You know, it's crazy.
Damn.
It's just one of those
another
things.
White guy, right?
Yeah.
Fucking white people.
Yeah.
Crazy. What the fuck happened to him? God damn it.
28. I mean, I look at it. He's our age. 28 years old. Snapped apparently. You know what I mean? Whatever. Whether if it was from the military, supposedly there's like rumors of something that went on with like his ex-girlfriend, or you know that maybe she had some kind of role to play in this. But it's like at the end of the day, like just look where we're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like once again, reports
anywhere.
And
it can
stats.
Happen anywhere.
It can happen anywhere, but
it can happen anywhere.
It really can. You know, it's one of those things where it
happened right here
sickening.
in Florida.
Yeah, twice.
School
Twice.
Like
post shooting and
post shooting.
Post the Orlando club shooting. The post.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was huge. 53 people. You know. It's just one of those things. Like, I guess
that guy
now when you're in public,
was that guy Muslim or no?
He was
a gay nightclub, wasn't it?
It was a gay nightclub. Yeah.
Jeez.
That was an act of terrorism. That one truly was an act of terrorism.
Don't the like the Muslims hate gays? Like they hang them from the streets, or they throw them off buildings in their country. It's crazy.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate on that because I don't know. I don't want to give false.
I'm not speculating. I've just heard it. I mean,
I think no. I know there is. No. I think there is something to do. Well,
okay.
Cut the podcast. No. I don't know. I know there's something to do with that, and it's the reason why he chose that specific club. But I like I said, I don't know. So I don't want to speculate on something I don't know.
Get in trouble for speculating. Well,
you heard that? Damn. We'll end up an info ban.
Conversation. Jesus.
PC.
Okay. Let's hit the topic. Fuck. Fuck shootings all together.
Well, no, I mean,
goddamn,
you're a big gun. So let's go ahead and throw it out there because you know people listening are going to say
I promote
the
gun safety. Yeah.
Is it the guns or is it the healthcare?
Put a gun. Oh, it's a mental health.
The mental health.
Yeah, it's a mental health problem, and it's sick when the Democrats try to say it's a gun problem. Like you can do something about. Like you want to change the Second Amendment, Ashton Kutcher? No, you can't change it.
You know, it's funny,
and it's like because his Twitter post was ridiculous. He said an A-bomb or the right to bear arms. Something, and he said an A-bomb or a nuke is a arms. Can you really own an arms to be able to overthrow the government? You can't have a militia that can overthrow the government anymore. But like, bitch, we have the numbers. We are the people.
Yeah.
That's it. It doesn't matter. The guns can be this big. It could be the size of
that was a
standard 30-inch rifle or 26-inch rifle. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
My dad had the best idea. He's just like, you know what? He's just like, we're gonna have to go back to how it was. He's like, forget it. Obviously, what we're doing in present day is not working. We're gonna go back to the Western times. Everybody's gonna be armed with a gun.
Yeah.
And when you have beef with somebody, it's just like, okay, well, let's go to the street. Let's count 10 paces, and this is it. You know what I mean?
How do you think? Some people think that. I mean, you walk around town. I already think that. Like, it's why anybody around you can be carrying, because it can see a weapon. It's like just a little card you have to get. Send off your finger. There's a lot of criminals out there, and they don't have them. Look at this. Look at what the natural order of things have done. It feels that makes me feel so safe. Like that is an awesome. If I see a shirt line print on his side, I see a gun. I'm like, I already have a better. I hope I have a good trust in him. Like I feel safer in the room. Like if there's a bad guy over there, I'm gonna get my kids under the table real quick because there's gonna be bullets flying at him because I know there's a guy over there with a gun, and I feel safer in this little environment. And when I go in an environment that has an X on a gun in the front door, I'm like, fuck, we're going in a gun free zone.
And this is the part that that scares me, and I really don't understand it yet. And obviously, I've never been in this position. And maybe you'd elaborate on this too, but like, so I think back of people that have concealed weapons permits, and then I think of an incident like happened, like it was a country bar. I mean, obviously we live in a country town, and I'm almost certain that the majority of people here carry.
Yeah.
But when something like that, you can't carry in a bar?
You can't carry in a bar.
Okay, well then that's all.
There's alcohol being served openly. You can't serve alcohol in a bar.
Okay, so then that answers my question. But okay, so let's say it was a different, let's say it wasn't a bar, different scenario.
Like a restaurant.
You're put in that kind of environment where something like that happens and goes off, and you're a concealed weapons owner permit.
Yeah.
Here's the FOMO. Does the fear kick in where your first instinct is let me get away, or does your other instinct kick in when you're like, well, I'm a concealed weapons, I have a gun, this guy's shooting.
Doesn't matter.
Do I go to take him out?
It doesn't matter because you. Yeah.
Mommy wants you to come get Hunter.
Okay. Can you bring him here?
Because he's in the shower.
Bring him here.
Mommy.
Oh, okay.
We
Hold on just a minute.
for a quick break.
What were we talking about? So we don't forget.
No, I know what you're talking about, the gun control
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Before I pause it, does like the fear, like if you fear and run with your gun, or if you fear and shoot, fight back.
Exactly.
But the part of it,
it's a split second decision,
right? But the best part is you have the ability to do so. Like he's advancing with this, and you have the equal means of fighting back. You know what I'm saying?
And that's just the part I don't know what I would do in that situation.
If they take that right away from you, that guy has that gun illegally, and he's attacking you, and you're defenseless. That's the worst feeling ever. That's the worst outcome ever. And to be able to avoid that with this Second Amendment and the whole, everybody can have a gun.
Now look at the other psychology part of it. Let's say you are the guy that has the gun there. We'll pause on this.
We'll pause this. We'll be back. Record. We're back on, people.
We're back. What, 2 breaks today.
We got an extra person here.
We got a third person, Hunter.
You
say
got
hi.
hiccups.
You got the hiccups.
Telling people. Oh. I wonder if that came through on the mic. That's funny.
That's his take on gun control.
Yes.
You don't want gun control. Yeah.
No gun control. No.
So like this is the other part that I think about in terms of that scenario that I was telling you about. You're a concealed weapons owner.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That situation unfortunately goes down. This kind of reminds me of one of the interviews that the guys that I saw in the news. So let's say something like that does go down. You're a concealed weapons owner. You had that split decision whether to run and protect yourself or run and defend yourself or defend people around you. Let's say something horrific does happen. On the psychology part, I wonder, just as a gun owner, like, you can't help but wonder, like, man, I could have stopped it, or I could have did something,
Am I alone? Or you give me a scenario?
That's a scenario.
Am I alone, or am I with my family? Because when I'm with my family, running is not an option. You have to shut down the whole area that you're in, and because there's too many people.
Yeah,
I got a lot of people I'm carrying with me, and a lot of people to be careful for, to look out for. So the whole area I'm in has to be rezoned as a safe environment, and the person that's creating the violence has to be either killed or subdued, because I have my babies with me.
Right.
There's no way. There's no running because I'm not gonna be able to let them run fast enough. There's no way. Sorry, I'm getting emotional with this.
Oh, I know, bro. I'm telling
you. But if I'm by myself, I'll probably run.
Right.
Me and Natalie ran at the ZombieCon shooting.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
That wasn't really a shooting. Like someone got shot, but still
the
crowd reacts.
Yeah.
The crowd reacts, and the crowd runs this way. The crowd runs that way.
Right.
That's running. That got emotion. That got emotional as shit.
I mean, that's just imagine the people that are in that predicament. Like, how do you deal with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like there was a father there that he was talking about that. He's like, he's 56. Well, he's 56 years old, and he's just like, he sees bodies getting dropped around him, and he's just like, why not take me instead? I was like, I've lived my life. I'm 56 years old. Like, it's just weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just, as a gun owner, I don't know what I would do in that predicament. Like, I don't know if I could live with if I had my gun on me and something like that happened, and I didn't at least attempt to do anything to stop it, like, it would probably screw with my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
If you locked up.
Yeah, like if you locked up, and like you said, that's that split second decision.
I hope I don't, man. I guess I just hope I don't.
Yeah.
God, I hope I don't. But everything in me, and the kids and the wife and everything just urges you forward to just like, me first. I'm gonna do something about this first, and just launch yourself at the problem. That's why I hope my immediate reaction is to not hide or something. Because
that's natural instinct. Hide and run, or
the crowd went crazy at ZombieCon.
Yeah,
it was like, run! There's a shooting over here. And then when I'm like, okay, we're getting out of here. Someone got shot. We're running this way. I got my head. We're good. And then what happened? My wife's friend was in another location. My wife wants to run towards her. I'm like, no, there's crowd mentality. Yeah. And then they said the shooting's over here. There's like another shooting, like another gun went off over in that direction. So everybody returned, reverses. That was the scary part. I'm like, okay, now it's hectic. So we just went into an alley and my buddy kept his old lady against the wall and I kept my wife against the wall.
Yeah.
Just to kind of let the crowd die down and, if we're keeping an eye on what's going, what's walking around the streets, make sure we don't get shot or something.
It's crazy because I joke around when this whole situation happened with my wife. I was like, man, I'm like, as much as you don't want to be a loner, it's like people are going to get to that kind of fear. Like when my daughters are of age, like, oh, I want to go to the shopping mall. Okay, cool. Log on to Amazon. Or I want to go to the movies. Cool. I got a projector set up in the garage. It's sad. It shouldn't be like that because you should never want to have a fear to go out and enjoy yourselves. But man, what the hell have we come to? Like we're starting to get no better than these third world countries, man.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Gun reform. I don't know what's in gun reform, but it needs to be on the 5 o'clock news or the 5:30 news. Or
like what?
News.
Like what do you mean?
They need to involve. It can't be a hush hush deal. We all have to know about it, or there will be a revolution. That's scary. You start taking away people's rights to defend themselves, they're going to get violent.
So let me ask you a question. What is when you look at the statistics side of it? The United States compared to other countries. I think there was a chart that came up on Twitter. I could probably find it. Trying to think with this chart. I think we were compared to Japan. And yes, I get it. We have a larger population than Japan, but they were looking at more of like the stats per, like incidents per 100,000 people. Mm-hmm. And it's just almost like non-existent in some of these other countries where you have like four gun-related crimes a year, when here we are at 302, and we're like 300 and X days in the year. You know what I mean? So it's like every day there's been,
because the guns in those countries are illegal. It's hard to. Hard to fight that.
Yeah, I think the guns are illegal or
special licensing for hunting licenses.
Yeah, it's just a lot of regulation.
A lot of regulation.
Yeah.
That happened in Australia, and you can't argue with the Australian. I mean, yeah, they're more guns are illegal in Australia, and I think crime has went down. It's like, how do you fight that stat?
Well, I mean, at this point, just imagine the millions of guns that are out there. Like, there's really no way.
Materialistically, that's what America was founded on, was the materialistic thing of a right to bear an arm and not to have it infringed upon. I mean, it's so engraved in what we are. It's all those other countries don't have it.
No,
I mean, we're a violent country.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a solution, because I really don't think there's a solution. I have an idea. Let's just put it like that about guns in general. About being.
How to make it safer?
I don't know if it would necessarily make it safe. I think, I take that back. I think it would make it safer because it would put a lot more data behind guns. Uh-huh. I don't want to talk too much about it, just in case that nobody's done it, so that I can patent this idea.
Go ahead.
But just kind of thinking, and granted, like I said, I'm on the way outside looking in. Like, I know nothing about guns, and there's probably somebody already doing this and companies testing this and stuff like that. But I just have this idea of how to make. It reminds me of like movies like Minority Report and all these like future, like Reader, how to make guns smarter per se, to where law enforcement's involved. You know what I mean? Like.
What about the millions and millions and millions of pre-existing guns?
So that's where, in my eyes, regulation would have to come in, where you would have to have some like let's say well, no, listen to
everybody's
this.
already pumping the brakes.
Yeah, no, look, listen.
Stop it! Oh, sorry.
This is hear me out.
Pump the brakes.
Let's say, like I said, I don't want to give this away in case this is like a $1 million idea, but
boom.
Let's just say you had
keep it blatant.
Something that could regulate guns or whatever, and you didn't want to take those guns away, but you made a law that said, okay, every registered gun owner, you are now required to have this other piece with your gun, so that way it makes you a more responsible gun owner.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, there's some smart guns like patents. Fingerprint readers and palm readers, but that's a new.
I'm thinking beyond that.
Yeah, that's a good
idea. Beyond that, Yeah, like I promise you, I hope that nobody has this idea, because who knows if I can get a patent on it first, like I could just sit back and chill. But I just don't know.
A little tiny device, the way technology is now, just like a little device or something.
We'll talk off stream about it
for sure. I might be over the hardware side of it.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
any kind of thing like that deserves like, I don't know, like Shark Tank material kind of thing.
Well, yeah. Look how stupid. You heard about the dude talking about fingerprint scanners. He put a fingerprint scanner like on a lock, like
on a padlock.
On a padlock.
Yeah.
I mean, fingerprint scanners have been out in phones for like the longest, and this guy's just like, hey, why can't I just boom boom? And you would think these big lock companies would have already had the technology.
Master lock.
He's
sleeping on the deal.
Sleeping on the deal. He had the patent. Instant millionaire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy.
Had an awesome idea on there.
I love that show.
I love that show, dude. Yeah. That's so awesome.
I love it. Sometimes I hate when the
what a great transition into something better to talk about.
Build of the future.
Build the future. Technology.
I love that show.
Entrepreneur.
But sometimes I hate when, and granted, I get it. It's a show, so some of it's probably staged, when they like bash the small mom and pop business. We're like, oh, you're gonna fail. You're not gonna make it.
Yeah,
your numbers.
Like you're a mom and pop. You know?
Oh yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. It's like, oh, your numbers don't add up, or you're gonna fail, and it's just like damn, like you really don't want that for them. You know what I mean?
No, I want the best for them.
And then it's crazy when you
love it.
when you actually realize. Until you like start realizing like what's all involved in the business, like a lot of people just see the numbers like, oh man, this business is producing $1 million in sales, but then the bottom line is their take home is only like 150,000. So you know what I mean? Like, just there's so much more. It's just crazy when you actually think about money in general. Like, it's just crazy. It's just
then you see these rich people all over just. From it's crazy to see their backstory, not just to say rich people, but these people that are more financially secure, and to see how they made it there.
Yep.
Motivational, like to have like someone like me. I'm just a technician that could make something that could be like an invention or something.
Well, to me, it goes back to schools, man.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
It goes back to school. Like I don't understand, and I guess I can see why some of the wealthier don't really put their kids in public school, and they put them in like these more advanced schools. Mm-hmm. Because in my eyes, if I look back and I think, okay, what if when I was a senior or like a junior, and it was a requirement, prior to you turning 18, that they break you down and actually like make you understand like what a credit score is, how money works, how it operates, how to make money, manage money. And I mean, everybody's probably gonna be like, "Oh, well, you could just take an accounting course." Like, it's not the same. I'm talking about like real
mandated,
like real classes that some of these well-respected people have wrote books about, and just like educating, not like. And I get it; they don't want to make it mandatory, because then at that point, imagine if you arm, our society with all the same information, then the government is going to be the one that's going to suffer. You know what I mean? So it's just weird like that. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. All the people should know. All the people should know. Make it more public. That's what I hope comes with this podcast. I hope it comes with the sharing of ideas with each other, because we're kind of ignoring each other when we're just scrolling through, not talking to it. Just an hour conversation, just with me to you. Hopefully we share with everybody else we know, to help spread ideas and help be in the know more of what you know, like what you know and I know. A lot of people listen and don't know. It was just the spread of ideas is main.
Spread of knowledge.
Yeah, I need to trim your nails, son. He's still got the hiccups.
We're going to make you smart. Yeah.
We'll let you know. 'Cause what school doesn't teach you, we will. Sit down, Mr. Burke. A little something to learn. He's still got the hiccups.
Boo!
He's so warm.
I'm trying to see if I scare him if it goes away. Nope. He's like, you don't faze me. You know what'll scare you? The news.
Oh boy, that's a scary.
He's turned. He's like, no. We're like, no, I don't want to watch the news.
What other topics do we want to cover before we get off here?
Man, like, you know what? Just we'll get ready. I think we'll just lead up to the next podcast. I mean, we're gonna have
somebody else.
45 days to the end of the year.
Danny next time?
Huh?
Danny next time? Next week?
I think I'll probably get him on. I should be able to get him on.
I want to talk.
He wants to. He's starting to come back like around.
I want to ask him a question about that sports betting law that didn't get passed.
Oh yeah,
did he talk about that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he does.
Because if we talk too much stats about football, I'll get kind of.
Oh yeah, no.
Like teams, when you get teams and coaches and players, I'm like, oh god, I'm not interested in shit. But I mean, I'm more with like the public, what's in the public sphere.
Yeah.
And then the law I wanted to ask him about. I guess it's not.
Oh, you're speaking about that law
that didn't get passed.
That what do you think about that? The dog. Dog Hound, the one that got past the
Dog Hound, Dog
fuck,
Pound.
What
law?
am I doing? The why am I drawing a blank? I think the coffee just kicked. Where they dog races? You heard about that? Yeah, that it's banned now.
Yeah.
And then like now all those dogs, like what to do with them?
Oh God, they'll find a home. There's a bunch of people involved in that lose their, that don't have that employment anymore.
Do you agree with that, like banning the dog racing and stuff like that?
Yeah, I don't think they should be forced. I mean, they break down when they race them that much.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know
they should be
it.
pets. They shouldn't be made to run that much. But then there could be a vet that I could talk to that works at those races that probably like they're fine. They love doing what they're doing because I talked to plenty of people that worked at those places.
Yeah,
and they said those dogs love it. They're so happy and they get to run and chase a little rabbit in a circle. I mean, I'm like kind of skeptical. I'm like, okay, sure, I'd like to see some more.
I guess we're gonna
you gotta be objective about it. Like, don't know.
But I mean, that's
been
around.
it,
That's been around for years.
Like
I can imagine the amount of people that are pissed, especially like the older generation. That's what they enjoy.
And you know what? If it's still open, like it could come back.
Yeah,
it could come back. We live in a free country.
Yeah.
Lobby for it, or not lobby. Fight,
fight to get it back.
Fight to get it back, and start a movement in your community. Talk to people around you. Get it going again. Because if not, go stay home, cry about it.
I don't know anything about it. I mean,
start your own illegal race.
Yeah, sorry.
I bet you
underground. It's going to be underground dog races now.
It's too big of an operation. The track is huge.
Yeah, like at that point, like what do you do? Like I'm just
Meet
thinking about
country,
like
or in the middle of out in the country or out in the woods.
It's gonna be like all those TV shows you see. Like, hey man, what are you doing? I want you to come check something out. It's gonna be like underground, backwoods,
Greyhound racing.
Greyhound racing, illegal.
Yeah, I guess what the Bonita dog track is gonna do. I don't know. I should check out see what they're going to do. That's the closest dog track to us is the Bonita one.
Well, I can imagine that's a multi-million-dollar business. Like, I mean, a lot of people just got put out of business. I don't know.
You could change it to a casino. I guess that because they're already a legal.
Reminds me of Ozark.
Betting fight. Ozark.
You haven't seen that show?
Oh, money laundering. Trying to put money into businesses.
Yeah. You ever seen the show Ozark?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you seen season 2?
No, just a 2 episode and a half of it.
Oh my god, dude.
The old couple in the the Ozark town, the old couple, they scare me. That's a scary Bonnie and Clyde characters. They're nuts. They're wild.
You know what?
In the house, she blasted that guy as he was walking away.
Yes.
Blam!
Spoiler alert, Kevin.
That's
when you say stuff like that,
1.
you got a spoiler alert.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're still going.
Yeah,
I got too comfortable.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But yeah,
you know what that show makes me realize though?
Crazy. If you haven't watched season 1 by now.
No, yeah, dude.
I didn't say what guy. There's a lot of killing in that show.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Very, very. That show just makes me
crazy.
Makes you realize. And granted, like I said, I mean, you know what? I don't even think anything in that show really is fake because it's happened. You just look at like a guy like just knows his numbers and takes all these little small businesses and works the numbers behind it. Like,
but he's obvious. Like the agents are onto him. Like we're following him. They're following him from business to business. Basically, they're just not able to catch him
red-handed. Yeah, but
legally or something. Yeah, there's nothing that'll stick yet.
It's just crazy how like when you think of the idea and the concept of how money works and how money flows, and they make these split decisions like, I gotta
to make it
legit. We got to pay $50 million to pay this guy off, or even like when they get to the politics side of things in season 2, you'll see it's just like
that's why I did see that the politician to get the thing legal,
the casino and stuff like that, and you're like,
what episode is that? I guess I must have watched 3 episodes.
Oh, there's I mean in season 2 there's
that starts in season.
It's season 2. It starts
episode 3, right?
Yeah, it goes throughout the whole thing, and you're just kind of wondering, like, man, I wonder, like, politics really must be like this, like, just a real
people die in politics. Look, everybody thinks Hillary Clinton got people killed, just to be,
I met a couple here in LaBelle that thinks that they think that the Clintons were assassinating somebody, like
multiple people.
Yeah,
look at the it's online. They make a list of people that they think Hillary killed. There's a huge list.
Just disappeared off the face of this earth.
Or that politics gets bloody. That's nuts. That should be definitely.
But that goes back to I mean, imagine this is the part that's crazy, and this goes back to like these shootings. And I forgot somebody. I don't know if it was my wife or somebody was asking me about this. Like, this is how much social media has changed the world. Like, can you imagine back in like the 90s? Something like this happens, like a shooting or stuff, and not a lot of people really find about it unless you either hear it from word of mouth or you hear it from
the national news.
So,
you think they didn't report a lot of stuff?
not that they don't report a lot of stuff. I just don't really think a lot of people had access. I guess you can call it access to the information. Where it's like now, something happens and
all over Facebook, Twitter,
it's
news,
just everywhere.
social,
You open your phone and it's there. Some kind of alert. So it's like, fuck, man, it's almost scary. And that's where they're talking about just phones in general, like leading to there was an article that came out. They say Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram are the leading cause in depression in millennials. And
they're
I get
attributing social media to depression.
Yeah.
Directly
Because you have that, like, you see like your buddies or stuff posting, and you kind of have like that FOMO. You know what I mean? There you go. The
You're
FOMO.
missing out, and
you're missing out.
fun.
Why are they having fun? Why is my life like this?
It's just, yeah, people can look at it cynically.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely they look at it cynically, but I'm happy for everybody that's doing well on my Instagram and Facebook.
I'm the same way.
I follow The Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, you were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Follow The Rock. I follow Will Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Are we being jealous of them? You know what I'm saying? If you're jealous of those people and
they
then
work their ass off for that.
They work
their
ass off for that, and then tear it down to the people they worked their ass off for, or that someone worked their ass off to give that to them as a gift. Like gifts are awesome to see people get free stuff or like gifts on Facebook, like they record them.
Yeah.
People get jealous I mean, if that causes depression, they need to limit themselves or
well, that's what they're talking about. That's what these phones are trying to do now.
Hopefully they somehow, like, I don't know, like the phone talks back to you. Hey man, you feeling okay?
Hey,
Jesus Christ, I'm so stupid.
Kevin, you might be onto something. Dude, honestly, you might be. You might be onto something.
Sorry, don't laugh about depression.
No.
Depression AI, like an AI that senses. Hey man, you've been looking at some sad videos lately. How you doing, bud?
Yeah. You know what? It's crazy that you say that. You might be because you look at this latest update from Apple and Samsung's coming shortly, or Android in general is coming shortly, where they're starting to expose your information. Every Sunday I get a report and it says I've been on social media for 7 hours or 5 hours. But like you said, imagine if AI gets that smart and it's just like, hey bud, you okay?
Let's do something Samsung Health app.
Want to go for a run?
I'll go for a walk. Start there.
Oh yeah, don't run. That's interesting. Dude, that's interesting. You know what? You just kind of piqued my.
But then if you
if
you make your AI infringe on somebody,
well, then you're gonna have the other people that are gonna be like, well, why are you looking at my data?
But then you have to call it AI. Be like, you're talking. Shut it off. That's a person, or that's an artificial person.
Yeah.
But shut that artificial person off if you don't want to hear him. That's kind of an objective way to insert that AI into a phone, or into these devices, because you could be like, okay, here's the AI, or here's the in your phone. Okay. Oh, you're getting mad at it? You tell it, talk to it.
Off switch.
Talk to it or unplug it.
Yep.
Talk to it or tell it to correct itself and debate it yourself. But if not, if anything, there's an off button for those artificial things. You just turn it off. But then there's the fear. Then there's the fear of it's not able to be turned off. It's always listening.
It's always listening. You know what? I think I just at the end of the day, this is my take on that kind of stuff. You know what? This is actually pretty interesting, and I should probably put this out there so people can realize. Have you heard of mylife.com?
No. What's that?
You want to get scared and realize your information? I had to send them an email to get my information removed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to tell why.
They help manage your public information, right? Or they just post it?
So this is the crazy thing. Like, I'm not going to tell how I got to that website, but when I found this website, it kind of scares the shit out of you because...
Address, phone numbers,
how many email addresses, if they're Gmails. It's like, they get it. It's public information. But my email address, whether if I'm associated with Yahoo, Google, or anything, shouldn't be public. It tells you, it even gives you a brief bio of yourself. Like, Aaron Cruz lives in LaBelle and grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, shit.
And like, it's like, where are you pulling this information from? And it's all these companies that you've given access to, like what we do with the information.
Since the beginning of our internet access, everything's been free. When you're volunteering for a free service,
you're the product.
You're the product. Yep. You taught me that.
Yeah.
That's the terminology I use now.
Yeah.
But I've always looked at it from the beginning, like, the fine print. Everybody just goes right to the bottom, check marks, I agree, and goes in.
Yeah.
Read the in between the I agree stuff, people. I mean,
yeah.
And then those are the critics and the skeptics. Like, they're listening to us. They're listening to us. You're on a free service. They told you they're listening to you and watching what you do because that's how they market you. That's how they
get your information.
That's how it's a free service. I mean, you gotta let them do their thing.
It's just like you said. We're at the in the technology part of life. Like it's just, this is the future. Yeah. And you know what kind of hit me the other day? Have you seen Facebook's new product, the Portal?
No. Is it a room or something on VR?
It's it's like a camera. It's dude, remind like I promise you, like I'm starting to think back of all the movies we saw like in the 90s, and it's just like you can kind of see stuff like the direction we're heading.
What is it?
So there's two type of cameras. One, they're really fucking expensive in my eyes for trying to be a consumer product, but one's $200 and one's $350. It's basically like their concept is, you know, obviously I say everybody, but the majority of people use Facebook. We communicate through Facebook. Probably people are using some type of messaging app, and then people probably use, you know, their FaceTimes to video message. So their thing is, well, what if like in your kitchen or your main part of your home, you have this thing called the portal, which is your family's Facebook or your Facebook, the camera.
Get in front of
instantly
it, talk,
just call somebody, just video call somebody. Granted, Amazon's been trying to do it. Everybody's been trying to do it.
Like it looks like the future. It looks like the Jetsons.
Yeah,
hi, I'm in the kitchen. Boop.
Yeah, I'm in my kitchen.
Mount
like,
it on the wall. Mount
what are you doing? Hey,
when it's like that, you say that's cheap, but or you say it's expensive, but it's actually cheap if you think.
Of course,
technology.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, if money's not a thing, put it in the bathroom facing the other wall, you know, or not the bathroom, but, you know, put it in the hallway or your bedroom or your kitchen, you know, put them all over the place. So you're like, hey, you're in the bedroom, grab me this, or hey, how's it go, you know?
Well, that just makes me think, like, I mean...
Or is it more of like a sit-down couch kind of thing?
Well, it's more like a plug-in unit, so it's like you're going to put it somewhere where I guess you're going to be, like, social active. So my guess is you put it, like...
Oh, like one place in the room for now.
Yeah, it's not moving with you. So, like, at first I thought about, like, well, what's to just stop people from using Facebook on your phone and calling? But I guess it's supposed to be more like a... You know, let's say your phone's charging
stationary
in the room.
Kind of thing, like this.
Yeah, like stationary. You just go to your kitchen and you're like, oh, let me see what Kevin's doing. You click a button and you're on my portal. Or I'm seeing you live and we're chit-chatting.
Wow, it's better than just posting and scrolling.
So
that's kind of why I wanted to start this, because we could sit down and talk. Because all we're doing is scrolling and scrolling. And I just want to sit down for an hour. Can I have an hour of your time and have a conversation?
Well, and this is the part that I want Danny to talk about on the podcast.
Can't even talk.
Like, I look at the good and the bad of this.
Well, how old is he?
Danny?
Yeah.
31.
Oh,
but I want him to expose. Yeah, he's older than us.
He seems so younger than us.
Yeah, different mindset.
I'll tell him.
I want him to talk about the Cuban culture now that he's been more exposed to it, and something that I noticed, and you may notice this if you're around the Cuban culture too. But I noticed a lot of Cubans, they don't make phone calls to each other. Everything is video calls.
Yeah,
I've never noticed that. Like, I used to work.
If they can, they will. Like
if they can, they will.
If they're in the internet, I can't get you on the video. I've heard multiple.
Yeah,
like they want. Let me see you. Like they want to be like. They almost want to touch your face too much.
Well, yeah, and that, you know, I never realized that. Like, I worked with plenty of Cubans before, and like I never realized. Like, I always just assumed that when I was walking in and they're talking, that they were just making like that one, you know, FaceTime call per se to their love. But no, it's good. Everybody they talk to is FaceTime, and then you have a country that has limited, you know, internet, and they're still doing. They go to these places, so I mean, that part was interesting. I mean, like. Then I'm going to save the details so my cousin can explain his side of it.
Yeah, and I live in a place where it's more apt, and I don't do it enough with my family.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, I don't think, you know, I'm let me FaceTime my wife on lunch or something like that. And we don't, but that's just their way of expressing. Like, they want to see each other while they talk.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Maybe it's our culture, that what's engraved in us, just our social ruts that we have that don't, you know. Maybe we're not comfortable with.
We need better cell phone coverage. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that too. It'll be okay.
You like
Chipotle's internet's down. Yeah, still, you know, can't do FaceTime on my lunch break. He wants to say something.
Give us the closing words, Hunter.
The closing words, man.
Give us the closing words. I'm Hunter, and I approve this podcast. There we go. Mike grab, and he approves this podcast. There we go. Nah, man, we're gonna leave. I'm gonna talk to Danny today about it. See if I can get him on next week on the podcast. See if he comes. He's been coming down. He's trying to play some Mario Party more over here.
Did you guys have a Mario Party?
Not yet. Well, we did Friday night. Yeah, Friday night. Yeah. That game's fun, dude.
Let's do a Friday podcast. I just don't want to do every Friday.
We do Friday, Saturday,
whenever.
Sunday,
whenever, because we're busy. Yeah. So whenever anybody can get on, we'll work it out.
Wednesday
it'll take multiple tries, probably. Like, okay, I got to take this, change the plans, change the schedule. So we'll flip it around until we find a way to close this thing out here. Okay. Anything else?
Nah, man, this has been good. A little Sunday morning talk.
Yeah.
Sunday episode.
Next week we'll do Friday. God, I get these headphones on. Say goodbye. Huffy puffy. All right. Bye, everybody. Say peace.
Over and out.
Over and out.
See you on the next episode, guys.